And last year we caught spying on Indonesia. That didn't go down so well. Well, today the latest Ed Snowden leaks show that we've been busted doing it again.
The documents show we spied on a US law firm representing Indonesia in trade negotiations with America, then offered that intelligence to the US, essentially commercial spying. Till now, our spying had all been about preventing terrorism, or so we were told. The PM on spying yesterday.
We do not use anything that we gather for the detriment of other countries. We use it to protect our citizens, and we certainly don't use it for commercial purposes.
Well, Tony Abbott has said twice that we don't engage in surveillance for commercial purposes, and there's no other word for it but a lie.
The PM on spying today.
What I don't do is talk publicly about allegations of this nature, and we don't comment on security matters, on intelligence matters.
When pushed on the allegations, the Prime Minister did what this Prime Minister seems to always do, round on the media.
If organisations like the Australian National Broadcaster wants to dwell on them.
This was the New York Times, I think, that leaked this one.
And look, if the media wants to talk constantly about this kind of thing, inevitably it will dominate conversations. And look, I'm not being critical of the media, I suppose.
Except he is being critical of the media. It seems the PM wants the entire Australian media to just lay off that whole reporting thing. It's hard to know what's worse. The fact the PM has a warped sense of the media, the fact we may have fed the US stolen info to help a trade deal, or whether Edward Snowden has enough intelligence to keep this story going forever.
Barry Cassidy is the project's political animal in a good way. Barry, we just saw Bernard Keane there say that Tony Abbott lied about the use of spying for commercial purposes. Some pretty strong words. Did he lie?
Well, thanks for the invitation to call the Prime Minister a liar on national television. I'll probably pass. Look, I've got a couple of sympathies for Tony Abbott in this sense that it's difficult for leaders when they're dealing with these sorts of matters of national security, and secondly, this did happen under Julia Gillard's watch. Having said that, looking at all the available evidence, there doesn't appear to be remotely anything related to terrorism or to national security in any of this. It seemed to be a straight-out case of Australia intervening in some sort of trade negotiation to the detriment of Indonesia, and you can understand why, again, they'll be offended by that.
Barry, the Prime Minister does like to complain about the media. Do you think we're the ones in the wrong? Should we be all maybe a little bit more Team Australia?
Well, again, I think it's Team Australia to a point, but I'm not quite sure why the Prime Minister is so coy about this latest revelation, given that it happened under Julia Gillard's watch. But in the United States, when these revelations happened, Barack Obama called for a review, and that review has recommended that they now limit this sort of intelligence gathering to terrorist activities and matters of national security. We haven't even had that conversation in Australia. Perhaps it's time that we did.
But is the reality here, Barry, that everyone's just getting caught? Isn't Indonesia potentially doing the same thing to us and every other nation doing it to other nations? Isn't that just part of international politics?
Yeah, it is part of international politics, and of course the Indonesians spy on Australia. The problem here is that Indonesia seems to come up all the time, that we were caught out spying on the Indonesian president and his wife, and now you get this situation. I think the pity for Australia, the problem for Australia is this Indonesia keeps popping up.
Barry, obviously the government aren't happy with the media and the way they're reporting things. You chatted with the Immigration Minister yesterday and he wasn't exactly free with information. In your experience, without painting you as an ABC lefty journalist, do you remember a government being this tight with information?
A little bit of media profiling going on there, but no, I can't. I can't recall, and certainly the most demonstrative example of all of this is the way that the government treats the asylum seekers issue. It goes beyond that, and as I said here, I don't know why they're so coy about these spying allegations, because the Act doesn't suggest that any of this is illegal. It's just embarrassing when they get caught out.
Well, Barry, it's always a pleasure having you on. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.